pulled it out in front of the librarian. Somebody asked me about different things, messed up things I saw, not the worst things, you know, like the stabbings or the fights or all that. They said, you know, the really messed up things. And when I told him this, he thought it was funny. I think I've told y'all before, but I'm going to tell it again. Because he asked me to. He said, man, you need to tell this on your channel. There was this guy that always went to the library. Always. And he didn't look like the type that would go up there just to read. But I'd go up there once in a while, but every time I went up there, I saw him up there. And others pointed out to me, said, man, every time he's up there, he just sits there and he stares at the librarian in her office. She had a little office, and she usually kept the door open so she could hear what's going on. And he'd just get in at a table and a chair where he could look straight in there and see her. And he'd just look at her and look at her and look at her. And so some people told him, man, you're messed up. Some of them told me, man, there's something wrong with you, you know. Well, one day I was up there in the library. This just reminded me of something else that was messed up that happened in the library. But I might tell that after this. Anyway, they got these aisles with books down it, you know. And I was down there, and all of a sudden, I hear people yelling, you sick asshole. You know, they were cussing him out and everything, but nobody's doing nothing. And I walk out there, and he had pulled a chair right in front of the door to the librarian's office. He had headphones on. I'm glad he had his back to me, because he was just going to town. And she was in there, and she'd already called. She's looking the other way and everything. And by the time I had to come out and look, and I was just like shocked for a couple of seconds, here comes these COs in there. And they didn't tell him stop. They didn't tell him stand up and put your hands behind your back so you can be cuffed up or nothing. They tackled him, took him down, and then cuffed him on the floor. And took him away. I was telling some of these other guys, man, what? He goes, man, we didn't need to see his thing. Why didn't you go over and beat him up instead of standing there staring? And, that's just really messed up, man, what he done. But, anyway, he went to the hole for a long time, and then when he came out, he did something else. I don't know if it was similar to that, or if it was with another female, or it was the same one, whatever. But he goes right back to the hole. And I'm sure it's the same thing. You know, they got gunners everywhere in prison. You always have at least one in every prison. There's usually more. But the other thing what this reminded me of, just as I was telling the story, was I go up there one time to the library, and there's a dude walking down. I'm getting ready to go down this one aisle, and he's coming towards me, and he's looking down the book aisles, you know. And all of a sudden he goes, oh, man, take that shit somewhere else. And he comes up, man, he goes, don't go down the aisle down there, man. He goes, got a dude on his knees, doing a thing to another guy. And I said, man, that's really messed up, man. They need to find someplace else if they want to do things like that, you know, instead of the library or church bathroom, school bathroom. They don't care, you know. They'll just do it anywhere. Anyway, so, but I guess both of those messed up. He told me to tell that messed up story that I told about the guy that sat down there and did that. But both of them is really messed up. But it just shows you the type of some of the people in there, how they are and how they think, you know. And some women, they'll quit just by seeing that. They can't deal with it. They'll work there for a little bit and then, I can't take this, and they'll quit. Anyway, that's all I got for you, and I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.